Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So this is Lori at the Ladybug Journals, and I want to welcome you to Make It March. Today is March 7th, and it is my turn, and I'm so excited. I get to present to you my project with all of the fun I got to have with the papers that our fabulous designers presented to us. So I want to show you the two that I chose, and I chose Tease Digital's and the Growing into March Junk Journal Kit by the Serendipitous Crafters. Now, I don't know if you can see that, so let me bring that up a little bit for you. Now, hers are my background pages, and Tease are some of my my decorations on the pages, and I will try to point those out for you so that you can see those. Now, let me straighten my camera up for you here a little bit. There we go. Now, you can find these all listed below, and all of the other makers, all of the other designers will be listed below, and I encourage you to go and watch all of their channels too, because all through the month of March we will have a brand new video out, and this is sponsored by JJ with Joy over on her channel. That will be also linked below for you. And I'm excited. This is my very first opportunity to be in a collab like this. I've been in smaller ones, but this is my first big one. And I am just really excited to be doing this. So let's get started so that we can have some fun. So I have done some of my prep work on here so that, you know, I'm not keeping you guys all day, because I have been known to do that. So let's see what we're going to do. So I have chosen to do an envelope type thing. Now, if you don't have envelopes, don't panic. You can do this with cardstock. And I don't know if anyone has ever told you that, but bases like this can also be done with cardstock. You just need to measure your cardstock and give yourself an extra inch. So when you would measure your cardstock, let me show you what I mean. You would measure your cardstock. So my envelope is basically, now I'm going to measure it with the fold. So my envelope with the fold is 4 3/4 inches across. Okay. So if I double that for over here, if I want to add a pocket, I would add an additional amount for a pocket back here. If I don't want to have a pocket, then I just cut it the 4 3/4 inches. You can score it for your fold, and now you have basically what I have right here. Oh, I have that too close. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Now you have what I have right here, because I glued this envelope shut. I didn't want a big pocket. So this would have been a piece of cardstock that is cut 4 3/4 inches. This was scored, and now it's folded. But I didn't use cardstock. I just used an old envelope that I had, because I'm trying to get rid of this stuff that's sitting in a box. So this is my fold. This is the back, and it's all covered. So you can see that was just the front of hers. So there's that piece. Oh, let me get this off of here. And the same with this one. I didn't want this piece. Now, I haven't decided on this one yet. So if you want it to be a pocket, you just need to cut double your width of the front. So this one is, oops. This one is 5, so you would need to cut your paper 10 inches long. Okay, so 10 inches long. You want to score it down the center so you can fold it in half. Then add a 1 inch, so 10, 11 inches long. You want to score 1 inch on whatever side you want it to fold on. And there's your flap. And there's your pocket. So you don't need to use envelopes, okay? To make this, you don't need to use envelopes. You can use plain cardstock. You can even use printed cardstock if you want. So even though I say I'm using envelopes, you don't have to, okay? You can use your cardstock. Now, let me show you how I'm going to have this done, and I did the same with this one. This little envelope that I did have, I just cut it to the size I wanted it. And I took out the piece in the middle. I made this the size that I wanted it. I added on the inside. I covered the inside. Now I've glued it. I covered the inside of it. I added my background piece. Now the background piece right here, my background, it's all sealed so I can't show you. Not the little raccoon, but the background piece. And the raccoon. Now the raccoon is by Tease. It's from Tease Digitals. This piece is from Tease, right here. I'm pretty sure. I've got them everywhere on my desk. So I just covered it. This is from the Serendipitous Crafter, right here, the butterflies. Now, I'm not worried about this being straight. I probably will make it straight because it's all going to glue together. But it's all glued closed. Okay, it's not a pocket, it's glued closed. So that's going to cover like that when it goes on my envelope. So this is going to go like this. It's going to fit over here. This piece is going to come over here. And I kind of have things sorted out here for different places that I want to put them. Okay. Now, this one is also, this is a big piece. So you would just cut this to the size that you want. Now, this is a large pocket. I covered this piece here on a piece of cardstock to make it a little bit sturdier. And I want to be able to put something down here. But this is just a large mailing envelope. And this will get glued closed. And this is going to actually get attached to a page. And I left enough room at the top that I can trim it if I want to, if it's too big for a page. This little pocket right here is meant to hold something, and I can decorate this page if I want. All right, so let's finish decorating these however I want to decorate them. And then we'll get it together and I'll show you what it looks like. Now, if you don't want this to be in a journal, it doesn't have to be. Like once I get this together like this, it's going to go like this. It's going to sit like this. Or I can, or now you have to decide how you want it before, you cover your pages. It's going to sit like this. Wait, that's not right. That sits on top of that. Come here, you. And there's going to be another small one on top of here. You can put a piece of cardstock on the back of that. Like I can take this piece of cardstock, if it's bigger, and I can cover the whole back of it so that all this is covered. So it sits like this. And it's going to open like this. Okay? That's the goal. That's the goal. And this little one is meant to hold this one closed. So let's get to work on it and see if we can get it finished. So on the inside here, as you can tell, this is still open a little bit. It isn't covered. So I want to cover this piece that's still white. So I want to add something right here. I don't know if I want it to be washi tape. I don't know if I want it to be another piece of paper. But I want to cover this white piece. Now this needs glued down right here. But this back piece right here, I'm not going to see. So I'm not going to worry about it because it's going to wrap around the back. And I can't decide if I want this still open. So let's get to work on this. And we're going to start with this little guy. So I'm going to put all those underneath there. So let's see what we can do to cover that. I think, now I had also thought about adding some little pages in it. So let's get out some washi tape here. I think I want to add this right down through there. Now, I could also add, you know, some more paper if I wanted, but I think I want to add this. Okay, I'm not doing a very good job of cutting that, am I? There we go. So let's get this off of here. I think I should have started peeling it before I cut it, though. And make sure you guys can see it. Now this is fabric tape. I think I might want the pink at the top. This has a little bit of pink in it. Get off of there. Okay, like that. Make sure that that's still gonna, I got it over too far. Oops. Oh, it's not glued down. Well, I need to make sure I glue that closed. So let's go on and glue this closed here. All right, so I'm just running a little bead of glue right underneath here, just a little one. Just like that. And I want to make sure that that's going to fold. And I've got a little bit of paper coming up here. So now's the time to get it down. And let's go on and get this straight, because I think I do want it straight. So I'm going to grab my paper cutter real quick. It's right here. And then we're going to trim off that tape at the bottom there. So let's get this straight. There we go. It's not perfectly straight, but it's straight enough to, because I got to make sure it'll still wrap around. Okay, there's that one. Okay, so now that one. Now I'm going to put a clamp on it to make sure that that fold. I'm going to try and persuade it that it wants to fold. you know, that it really does want to fold. It's not imagining things. Oh, I don't need to clamp it. Oops, but I do need to glue it, don't I? Goodness sakes. I thought I had already glued it well. There we go. That's better. Okay. Guess my persuasion techniques weren't very good. All right, so there's that little man. All right, so we can put that away. We can put that away. Now, in T's kit, there are some little slides that you can make. So I mean, they're not T's. In the Serendipitous Crafter, there are some slides that you can make. So I took her slides and T's little backgrounds, and I made some slides. I made this one. I think this might be the only one that I added. Nope. And this one. And this one, I used T's backgrounds. And since they're now dry, I can ink my edges. And on a few of them, like this one, I've added little, they're little teeny tiny, I don't even know what you want to call them, because I can never remember what you call them. They're paper, they look like this. They're nail head. They look like this. This is how tiny they are. They look like that. Let me get them with my... This is, you know, they're split leg. And they're a little bit too long on one edge. So I just had to trim the one edge. And I wanted to show you how I did that on this bigger one right here. But first, I need to ink it. And I see a little bit right here that needs trimmed. Actually, I think I'm going to use this on it so that everything is the same. So if you're already a subscriber, I want to say welcome. If you're new to my page, welcome. Whoops, I need to glue that back down. Don't forget, oh, excuse me. Don't forget you can hit like and subscribe to the page, and I appreciate that if you do. There, that's better. Goodness sake, I use glue sticks, so I think I need to check my glue sticks. Okay, now let's get this one. That's better. Alrighty. So now let's get these inked up here a little bit. And then I'll show you. Now, I'm not really I'm just doing it lightly around the edges here a little bit so you can kind of see them. There, I think you can see that a little bit better. Just a little bit better. They were really fun to make. When I was making them, they reminded me, I have some old slides from my mom had given me of when I was a baby. They had, there's what I'm looking for. They had my picture taken. And my pictures were on slides. And I was showing my husband them one day. All right. And at the time, I'm not going to tell you the year. At the time, you know, they gave you the little viewer and the slides, and they're about this size, except they're double-sided. They're like this. They're double-sided. So you look through the little viewer, and you see the picture of the baby. And oh my goodness, it is the coolest looking thing. Now, for the other one I did, I just used my little pokey tool, and I poked through it. But it didn't quite make the hole big enough, and it started bending them. So I'm going to try one of my little punches that has the little tiny hole in it and see, there it is, and see if that works better. You know, see if that works better with the going through it, so that they don't, their holes don't bend, their legs don't bend. Good gracious. Yeah, see if I can put them in like that. Now let's see if that works better. And I'm going to bring them in a little bit more. Well, that one's not sticking either, so I need to stick that one down. Oh, yeah, see, that one went in much easier. Oh, much better. But I can still use this to, good heavens, to flatten them out. Make sure that they're good and flat. There. There we go. Now, let's, okay, this paper just is not sticking. Maybe I didn't get enough of my glue stick on there. Okay. Now, let's do this one. I put them right at the corner here. So let's try another one. Yeah, that's much easier. They go in a lot easier this way. And their legs aren't bending, rather than with the pokey tool. And I think on the back of them, I can put some washi tape or something maybe to, oh, much easier. Much, much easier. Now, on this one, because I already have that, I'm just going to have to bring it in. Let me find my little ruler here, so I can measure in on both sides the same. Okay, so this one came in. That way maybe we can get it in the same on the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if we can get this in the same. Okay, there's 5. Okay, right there. All right, there's that one. Now I'm trying to make sure that these are straight here on the bottom. Okay, it needs to come up just a smidgen right there. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to put, let me get the legs together on this one. Put that one in. There's that one. Now, if you don't have, a pattern on the back of these, you can always cover them with, another piece of paper to cover these. I do want to cover these back here because I don't want them getting stuck on anything. There. That's what it looks like on the bigger ones. And that was much easier than just poking the hole with this little pokey tool. Much, much easier. So I do want to put something on the back of that, or cover the back of them, so that these don't get stuck on anything. Now this I want to turn. There we go. Let's see what we have here to keep these from getting stuck. Or do we want to put some washi tape on them? I think we might do both. That way if we put washi tape on them, they'll be a little flatter. All right, what are the colors on the front here? Kind of a blue. Blue and yellow. What do we have in here? We have here, let's just use this one. Let's just put a piece. Oh dear, I'm getting the hiccups. I hope you guys are having a good day today. Okay, let's put a piece of this over them. Now, since I haven't used this, it might be rather sticky. I hope it is. I don't know. You never know about washi tape. Oh, it feels kind of sticky. Of course, this is just the top of it. So we shall see, huh? You know, they say that washi tape was created just, to be temporary. Sometimes I believe them and sometimes I don't, because I have some. Oh, there we go. I have some that, yeah, it's definitely, that might be all right. I have some that's definitely temporary. And then I have others that, it is so sticky that once it goes down, it isn't coming up. All right. Come here. I don't want a big piece. I just want a little piece. Okay. Now, this is just covering the legs up so that they're not getting stuck. And I do think I might cover the back of it. And with this tape on it, it might make it a little bit easier. Okay. Now, at least that's covered. And there we go. We've got everything on it. We've got all the holes punched in it. So this is the difference. That one doesn't have them, and that one has them. So there's the difference. Oops. I need to trim that little piece of tape off there. There we go. So there's the difference in them. Now, you could very easily make one of these into a little flip. Like I have one. I could very easily make this into like a little flip out on one. Or I could take one of these like this and make it into a little flip out or a little pocket. So let's go back to our things here, because I want to take, this is a little piece of cardboard that I want to cover. Okay, I'm going to put him over there. I want to cover this, and I want to make an additional little flip out to put on one of them. And I want to use one of my scrap pieces here. We don't need that, so we can put that away. Now, the pieces that I want to use here, I don't want to use that. Let me get a hold of it. I want to use this piece. And I want to put the bunny rabbit here. Now, I need to make sure that I leave enough for the flip out. But I don't have anything for the back of it. So I need to find another piece. Now, here's the matching part of it. So I really like this, and I really like this. So let's see what do we like? I think I might like this better. So let's take our ruler here. Okay. I think I want it right there. So some of that, yeah, like that. Now I'm going to use this glue stick. I think this will hold it. And it's a little bit stronger than what I used, I think. I hope anyhow. So I need to decide what's going to be the front and what side I want this to flip on. Now I want all of my flippers to be on the inside. So that means, let me show you where they need to be. That means my extra piece to attach needs to be over here on this side. Okay, so this is going to sit here. And I need to have my extra piece here to attach. Now, it doesn't have to be paper. I can use fabric, which I got out some fabric. I think this fabric goes very nicely with the paper that I have. And I want to use that fabric with the paper that I choose. So it doesn't really go well with the green paper. But it does go okay with the other paper that I have. So let's see here. Ah, here. We can use that instead, I think. So let's use that. Yeah. So we're going to use that on that side. Now, these, I think, are all tees. Oh, I like the blue. I like these. I like these. Now, since I'm using fabric, I don't have to have any of my paper sticking out because I'm going to use some fabric. So let's trim this, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use fabric. So I've glued the one page down. Now, I'm going to make this side a little bit longer. And I'm just following my pattern on the other side of the page. And I've just made this piece a little bit longer here. And the reason I've done it is I want to wrap it like that. I just want to wrap it. Okay? And then on my other page, I'm going to wrap over here. So that page got wrapped because we're going to see that side. Now my fabric is going to go like this. It's going to sit here and it's going to wrap around. It's going to wrap around this. When it sits up here, it's going to wrap around the back. That's why I don't really want that to be a raw edge. On this blue piece that we're going to use, this piece that I'm going to use, I can butt this up. Now I could have also wrapped both pieces around and covered it and covered both sides. Okay, so there you go. And that would have been another way to do it. And had I thought that far ahead, I could have, but I wasn't thinking. So this side, now because this is cardboard, I need to make sure that I have enough on there to cover it. And I want to make sure I get the flowers. I don't just want the stems. I want the actual flowers. So that's why I'm moving it down a little bit so I can actually have the flowers. Okay. And since I'm using a glue stick, I actually have a little bit of time to scoot, I think. Okay. Now I can lift this piece up here a little bit. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I did too good a job. Now, had I thought ahead, I could have covered this whole thing. But I didn't think ahead. So, think ahead. Cover your whole little piece so that you don't have raw edges sticking out. Okay, I'm going to cover it this way. I'm going to use some of my blue. I'm going to take some of this blue. Let's see if I like it. I do not like that. Let's see if I like it over here. I do not like that. Okay, so let's see here. I do not like that. So we are going to I'm just going to deal with it. I might use some washi tape. Okay, here is where my fabric is going to go. Oops, I did not trim that very well. There. My fabric is going to go here, and I want to make sure that it's centered right down the center here. Now, because I'm going to use fabric, I am going to use, now I could use this. This would work because that's a really thin piece of fabric. Let's maybe try this. Oops, already got the cap off. Okay, so I'm going to take this glue stick. This will hold really thin pieces of fabric. Now I had, what did I do with it? I had an old book sitting here that I could use as a glue book. What did I just move it to? It was sitting right here. Hello? Seriously, it was just sitting right here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to run this glue stick right down the side here. And I want to make sure okay, so now let's trim off our fabric. Okay, so now I've got my fabric trimmed. And I can put this, now remember this one already has one. It has this one. So you need to decide where you want this one. So if this little man is going to be on the top, do you want this one here, like that, in the middle? Is that going to fit over it? Or would you be better off moving that one? See, because this is going back here. Moving this bigger thing, swapping these out, and moving this big thing back here, up here, because there's going to be a pocket on the back of this. This has to be covered. And putting this back here, like this, either above the pocket or so that the pocket covers the fabric. So this is what it would look like if the pocket covered the fabric, or if this was next to the pocket, like that. And then you have this on top of that. And then this. I think that might fit better. I think it might hold it better if the big piece was in the back. You see how it lays better? So I think that's where we're going to put it. So we're going to put this back here. And that's the best way to do these, is you have to just play with them before you do them. So back here, we need to take our pocket off. And anything that I used for a pocket, I mounted on cardstock. That gave it a little more girth. Now, I just need to glue this shut, since I'm not using this as an actual pocket. Now, you don't glue up here, okay? You just glue underneath this part. Now, if you're using cardstock, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, now we're going to cover this. So, I think we can probably use our bunny rabbit, or we can use this one. At this point, we can use any of them we choose. Or there is I think, remember, this is going to sit on top of it. I don't think I like this on here. And I don't think I like it on top of there. The colors look nice, but I don't like it with what it says up there. Okay, so I'm looking through the other pages. Oh, okay, here. This is perfect. Right here. This is perfect because there's our bicycle. All right, so let's put this on here. Now, I'm just going to take off these borders. I don't think I'm going to need, well, I might need some of them down here at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to go on and put this here. Now, I don't really need it over there. Okay, now this is still, I'm pretty sure, I'd have to look here. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Make sure that I'm not telling you wrong. Who's who? Let's see, the bicycle. Okay, this is still Serendipitous Crafter. This is part of her kit. Okay, so I'm still using my glue stick for my background pages. And I'm just covering this whole page here. Okay. Now, and I'm going to take it all the way up to where this fold is. Now, as you can see on that one, I covered the entire thing. Now, I can do that because my page is big enough. But I don't need to do that because it's going to be wrapped around. And you're not going to see it. So I just moved it all the way up. And it doesn't matter if I don't see all of this, okay? So I've got it down. And I've got this all wrapped around me. Now, when you trim it off, you need to make sure where you're trimming that you're not getting anything that you want to keep. Like on these edges here. If I trim these edges, I need to make sure that I glue them closed again. Okay, so it looks like here, okay, there's that one. And then this is going to wrap around everything. So it would be like that. Oh, I love that already. Now, the one that we just made right here is going to sit here. And our fabric will wrap around. Now, since it's so big, it's not wrapping all the way of what we need. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use glue and washi tape on it. So I'm going to run some glue here. And I'm using my art glitter glue for this. So I'm going to use glue, and I think I'm going to use, now I don't have enough fabric to do another piece on it, but I think I'm going to use my fabric. Now I've got my fabric all the way around here. Make sure it's not off the page. And then my pocket, you don't want your pocket to be over here. So I want my pocket to sit, and I want to make sure I bring it up a little bit. I want my pocket to sit on top of this fabric like this. Now, before I do any of that, I want to ink this. And what am I going to ink it with, you ask? Well, I'm going to show you. It's not really ink. I'm using my Distress Oxide, and I'm going to use my Vintage Photo. And I'm going to be very gentle when I get to that other piece. And that's the reason I'm doing this piece first. And I'm just doing it very quickly. I'm not worrying about if it's perfect. I'm not worrying about if I've got every little piece to it. I'm also doing the folds here. Those are the pieces that I'm really going to see. And the reason I didn't bring every single thing up to the very tip top as far as decorating goes is because if I need to trim something off, I need to be able to do that. And I'm also doing the edges here. Okay, I'm also doing the fabric in there. Now, I'm also going to come across the bottom. Now, I'm going to open this up, and I am going to come down here just lightly, just ever so lightly. And if anybody that watches me a lot knows, I'm not usually I don't usually do this very lightly. I usually like to schmuck things up pretty good. And we got that place really well because we can really see those flowers. Okay, so now we can go on and get our pocket on. Okay, so let's get our pocket on. And I want my pocket to sit up from the bottom and over so it's not in my groove here. And I'm also going to use my art glitter glue for my pocket. And I need to get moving along here. Alrighty, let me make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay, right up here. And I'm not pushing it really tight. Okay. There we go, right there. And then that will be over there, like that. Now, when you open it up, if you want, you can also put a pocket under there. So you can take any of the other scraps that you have from your kits. Like I already have things cut out to decorate with. So let's see what all we have cut out to decorate our page over here. So I have these little boots that I want to put here. Now I need to make sure you all can see this, so you're going to hear me stand up. Why, yes you can. And I need to get moving. So let's go here. Okay. All right, I am going to pause this for a minute while I do some fussy cutting, and I will be right back. Okay, my friends, time to put it together. All right, so what I cut out was, actually I didn't cut much out, just a few little things to decorate, and I put the tabs on these two. Now, these two match, which was by design. And what I want to do is I want to show you how to put this together. And this went a lot longer than I thought it was going to. And I apologize for that. So I have the main one here. And this is either there to attach to a book page, attach to the cover of your journal, whatever you want it to attach to. So you take the first one that you want down. And for me, it's this one, okay? It's this one right here with the one we just made and the pocket on the back. Okay, and I want it here, and I want it centered. Now, before I put it anywhere, I want it to go, I want this whole thing to go in my journal that I've been working on. So I want to measure this on a page. And the page that I want it to go on is this one. And it is way too big. See, it's way too big. So it's going to stick out. So I need to decide, am I okay with this sticking out this far? Because look how far this is going to stick out. Like here is my page. It is going to stick out this far. Am I okay with that? Because I would need to cover the entire back with something. Am I okay with this sticking out of my book that far? So I would need to make that decision before I finish this. And I'm not sure. So this part of it would fit easy. This part, however, will not. So this part I will put aside. This part I will complete. This part is going to go like this. It's going to wrap around. And it's going to sit here. This little guy. And it's going to get attached. Now see, it won't work, so I have to complete it. Well, darn. All right, so I'll just have to come up with something else for it. Because it was created to go around this. That's why this is so big. But I could trim this. I could do that. So that it didn't go any bigger than that. I could trim it. I have the room to trim it. because I really did want it in my book. Oh, it would fit there, but I can't put it around here because of that. So I could take it off of this side and I could put it on that side. No, I can't because that side's finished. See, once you create them, you can't change them. Okay. Alrighty. Well, we'll go on and finish it. Alright, so we're going to glue this to this. Okay, so I'm gluing this on the back of here, like that. And then this page gets glued back here. Now, if you really want these in your book, you know, if you're just dead set against or for it, you can always, you know, put them someplace else. You can find a different page for them. You can wrap them around the pages in your book, and just have them individually flip out in your book. That's always an option. And then this goes on this side. Now, I am moving it down. I don't want them to be in the same place. Now we still have the raccoon to attach, so let me show you the raccoon. So the raccoon attaches here. Now, for your back, like I said, you can either make this something that stands alone, or you can find a way to make this work in your book. If you honestly want this in a book, you can make it work. You just have to, you know, figure out your ways. So this is going to go like this. So let me show you how this is going to flip out. So the only page I haven't decorated is this page. This flips here, here. I made a pocket. It's still a little bit wet, so I need to be careful. Here. I've got this here. This here. This flips open. I've got a pocket here. Now this pocket over here is still a little wet, so, you know, we need to be careful. We have this pocket here. Back here is this, and then we have this pocket that only goes halfway down. And it's got this in it. This big tag in it. Alrighty. So that, oh, and then there's this little tuck here. Put that little lady in there. Oops. And the little raccoon holds it down. Now, if you are putting this in someplace that's big enough to hold it, and you want to hold it down like with a ribbon or something, and you have another piece that goes over it, before you cover the back of it, put your ribbon, put a piece of ribbon across the back like this. This is ribbon. Put your ribbon across the back and then glue whatever your backing piece is, whether it's the page of your book, whether it's a piece of cardboard, whatever it is, then glue that on top of the ribbon. And then your ribbon is free and it can tie everything down. Okay? So I want to thank you guys for being with me today here in Make It March. I hope you had fun, and I hope you create one of these. They're really fun to do, and I have a fun time making them. And I have a really fun time doing these all the time. This is like my 4th or 5th one that I've ever done, and I just have such a good time doing them. They're lots of fun. And you can do them so many different ways. And you can just go to town on them. So I hope you have fun. Now, remember, below the video will be all the links that you need for all the creators, all the makers, for Joan's page over at JJ with Joan. Everything is linked over there also. So you won't miss any of the videos. Everything is linked for you. All of the websites or the Ko-fi or the Etsy sites or whatever, wherever they're selling their kits, you'll be able to go and find them by clicking on the links. And I'll have them on my video, and they'll be on everybody's videos throughout the month. And every month, every day of the month, there will be a new video for you so that you'll have something new to do during Make It March. So thank you for joining me here today at the Ladybug Journals. I'm so glad you did, and so glad to meet every one of you around the craft table. Come back again and join me anytime, and so glad to have you. So until my next video, ta-ta for now.